Nishkam karma is a concept that has always been the actual teaching of Bhagavad Gita. If you have a very limited takeaways, if you were asked and required to find a very limited takeaways of selected takeaways from Bhagavad Gita, the primary one will be Nishkama karma. And the most should I say, something, a concept that is misunderstood is also this same Nishkama karma. And it's 47th verse of second chapter of Gita, Mafaleshu Kadachana. And that says that you have only rights to the action, not to the fruits of this action. And like any common human being who misinterprets and doesn't understand these words, since it imparts a high stratum of philosophy rather, and the confused mind in response raises the question how that can be. If I don't desire for that work, how can I even start that work? What should motivate me to do that work? And that answer comes in 48th shloka of Bhagavad Gita, about which these are few words. So 48 says, Yogastha kuru karmani swangam tvakta dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhuktya samatyang yoga uchyate. This is one definition of yoga. It says, being steadfast in the yoga, O Arjuna, perform your actions, abandoning attachment, remaining unconcerned as regards success and failure. This evenness in mind is called yoga. This is one definition as per Gita. And the second definition is after 1-2 words again. Yoge karmashu kushalam. So here that word yoga comes again and keeps on repeating buddhi yoge. That word keeps on coming again and again. So what is yoga? Patanjali Yoga Sutra defines yoga as a practice that prevents that ripples of the mind, unsettled scattered mind. Chitta Vritti Nirodhaka iti yoga. Patanjali Yoga Sutra defines it in that way. So here this word yoga comes once again. What is yoga? Samatyam is yoga. Equanimity, a equilibrium state of mind that can handle a perfect balanced condition of mind, that can handle success and that can handle failure in that same vigor. It neither make you arrogant out of that success, neither make you depressed out of that failure. If we can understand this shloka, this the most it's becoming nowadays in our modern society, this is becoming an endemic, this depression out of this busy life. And Bhagavad Gita has an answer to this. If you can train your mind, if you can attain that level of equanimity from where you can see success and failure in the same drishti, same vigor, only then you can be a karma yogi, where your mind will be always in that work, but your mind will never be in the fruits of that work. Your mind, you will be in the world, but the world will not be inside you. Your mind will be in the work, but your mind will not go behind that. It cannot follow that work, that what will be the result, because this is not your hand. Working, constant labor, constant effort, purushartha, that is in your hand. But thinking about that, what will be the results, that is not in your hand. And this perfect balance, that is called yoga. And then the question comes that what point of view shall I adopt while I decide to work? Yogastha Guru Karmani. Be anchored to this philosophy of this yoga. Do action established in yoga. That Buddhi Yoga that keeps on repeating is that attitude from which you can work and achieve almost everything. How? Sangam Tyakta, giving up that attachment that comes from this truncated self, that limited self, that narrow self, that gives birth to the sorrow. Like Lord Buddha said, Dukkhang Dukkhang Sabbang Dukkhang. World is not a place of sorrow, but if your mind get anchored to this world, materialist world, if that desires motivate you, worldly desires motivate you to perform some action, then in fact you are ruining your effort. That Gita says. And all attachment comes from that little man, which we call the small I, the ego, the unaware self, that little ego. And as we practice spirituality, as we walk down this path shown by Bhagavad Gita, that little I reduces, gets dwarfed, and that bigger I starts expanding. In fact, Vedanta says, which that is ever expanding, that is Brahman. All pervading consciousness, that is Brahman. And so, when you deny that little I, that large I keeps on beginning to manifest, and that larger I becomes the guiding force. And in that very situation, you know how to handle your success, you know how to handle your failure. That neither makes you arrogant of your success, neither make you depressed of your failure. And in the next verse, Arjuna will be asking, and who can do this? And a new term evolves out of this discourse, Sthita Pragya, which we'll be discussing very soon. Thank you.